Welcome, ladies, to episode 5 of No Shoulds Given. First of all, we just really want to say a massive thank you to everybody who has been downloading and listening to us so far. We are so unbelievably blown away and grateful for every single one of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And for those that have taken the time out to give us feedback and let us know their thoughts and the fact that they're off buying journals and going through the questions, and it's already making a difference. So we are so pleased and thankful for all of your support.
So today's episode is all about...
I should be more like her.
Yes.
Nah. No, thank you.
Exactly. But we all do it, right? We all scroll. We spend hours doing that doom scroll, losing time, and we're looking at what everybody else is doing. And all of a sudden, we have these thoughts of just like, why am I not doing what she's doing?
Yeah, or that, why don't I look like that? I should be further ahead. I should be thinner. I should be more successful. I should be a better mum. The list is never ending. Ladies,
Yeah.
we should all over ourselves all day long.
So, this episode is for every woman who's ever looked at somebody else and thought, I should be like her. Because, spoiler alert, you absolutely shouldn't.
No, not at all. Let's just normalize it though. Jealousy isn't a flaw, it's a compass. Even the most accomplished Zen of us on the planet feel those jealousy come up and compare ourselves to others. It doesn't make you a bad person, it's just human.
Yeah, and actually, it's information. Like you said, it's a compass. These feelings are actually telling us something. So women are so quick to just shame themselves and instantly turn this into a negative process, negative thought, that are those spiral thoughts, of them believing that you're not good enough in comparison to other people. Why do I feel like this? I should be above this. I should be just grateful for what I have. But jealousy is actually a signal. It shows you a part of yourself that wants more, desires more, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It means you're ready for that new level. It's positive, girls.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking up to people and aspiring to be like someone is normal and it's healthy. And we're never going to tell you not to do that. It's when you look at other people from that place of lack and that I'm not good enough signal that then it starts to have a negative impact. And actually, it's not that you want her life, their life, that situation, whatever. It's something about that is activating a part of you that either you've been ignoring or, yeah, just not listening to.
I do just want to say one thing though, and I feel really, really strongly about this. There is no such thing as pedestals. You can
Oh,
look up to
yes.
somebody and admire them. And when we say look up, it's not because they're above you. It's not because they're better than you. There is no such thing as pedestal. I couldn't give a shit what you do for a job, how much money is in your bank account. Nobody is above anybody. It is non-existent. And it's really, really important that we get into that mindset. So let's talk about the real problem, the should energy. When you think I should be more like her, what you're actually saying is I'm wrong, or I'm behind, or I'm not enough. And that creates shame. It creates self-doubt. And the fastest route into burnout, because you start to chase a version of success that was never meant for you. What is even success?
Well, that is one of the ways to get out of this situation, isn't it? To be really, really anchored in your version of success. We talk about this in the online business space. There's loads of talk of like working from your sun lounger in Dubai and blah, blah, blah. And that's a successful business and 10 grand a month. But actually, like if someone waved a magic wand and was like, here you go, you can have that tomorrow. That isn't my version of success.
No, me neither.
That's not what I'm ever going to strive to be. Yet I still find myself scrolling through the feed thinking, oh, look at that bitch. She's on her Sunlander in Dubai. I'm shit. Which is not even like, it's not even what I want.
No. Do you wanna live your life on a sun lounger in Dubai? Does that feel like heaven to you?
For a
Not for
week,
me. Yeah, I will openly say
I'll
if I
take
could
it
have,
in
yeah, 4
December
holidays
for
a
a
year,
week.
I am here for it, definitely. 4 holidays a year, would love it. But I am not gonna be that person that is travelling around the world with my bloody laptop. When I go on holiday, I'm shutting off and you're not hearing from me. End off, sorry. Like,
Yeah,
it's
but it's
just
each to their own, isn't it, as
yeah,
well?
yeah,
Like
exactly.
everybody's version of success is completely different. What you
Yeah.
want from life, Lisa, what I want are two different things. We can be
Yeah,
aligned on lots of things, but it's completely different.
so subjective. It really, really is.
Yeah, I've lived an Instagrammable life at one point.
Yeah,
I've had the holidays, I've had the car, I've had the shopping trips, whatever. On the outside, it looked very shiny and nice. But the reality of that was really, really different. Um, it doesn't mean it was fake. There was lots of highs and lows in that situation, and the highs were genuinely high, and I did share them, and it did look like everything was rosy if you didn't know. And I was very good at making sure people didn't know, for a lot of reasons. But I know I was holding on to those highs and sharing them in the hope that if the highs were good enough, it would mean the lows would stop. And
yeah.
of course, you're chasing the unchaseable and it never happens. And I'm sure people look at me now and think, fucking hell, look how the mighty have fallen. But I genuinely wouldn't swap it. I wouldn't go back to that life for the world. So you never know what you're measuring yourself against
No.
either.
And do you know what? I was really, really shocked when you shared a photo recently of you when you were in your prime, when you had it all. And I am an expert of reading energy, and I can pick up from a photo very quickly how you are feeling. And I could feel the pain, I could feel the unhappiness. And you definitely weren't feeling the story that you were showing.
No, but weird looking back, that is really obvious. But at the time, that was normal. So it wasn't like I felt crippling any form of negativity. It was just
I
the
can feel
norm,
it
and
in
you
your
just
energy though.
got on it, got on with it. And it wasn't
Yeah.
until Facebook served me up that memory last week that I was like, fuck, look at her. My eyes are gone.
Dead.
My soul is screaming through my eyes. And
Yeah.
when I compare that to a picture of a few weeks ago, just before we were going out, it's like, I don't recognize myself.
Miles apart, years apart. And you can feel the difference in the energy. And like you say, people might look at your life and think, oh, how the mighty have fallen. But actually, you're way richer now
It's
than
not
you were then. Of
materialistic.
course it is.
And that's why those, for me, that what version of success has drastically changed.
Mm.
Drastically changed. I wasn't motivated by those things as such before. They weren't really important to me. They were always nice to haves, and I have had very nice things. They're not,
But what do they mean?
they don't motivate me.
No. But what do they actually even mean when you've got a designer handbag
I'll
or
tell you
you've
what it
got,
means. It means fucking big bills.
yeah.
I'm
And
not
also,
even joking. You have the house, the fucking gas and electric's like £600 a month. What mug wants to pay that? Just for a living.
and also though, when you're constantly chasing those dopamine hits and those highs, when does it all start to run out? When do you start to then
Well, say it's never enough. You try and hope that those
exactly.
good times are enough, but
Yeah,
the bads will not. But they're not. And then the good times are used to placate the bad.
yeah,
I haven't seen him for a couple of days. Oh, let's take her to Selfridges and let her go shopping. That'll shut her up. She'll be happy. No, I wasn't
yeah.
happy.
No,
So you never know what you're comparing against.
no, exactly. It's not inspiration. It's just self-betrayal with glitter all over it. And, I think you've learnt that, certainly, haven't you, in life, that that self-betrayal through comparing and striving for something that isn't actually true for you, thinking that if you are striving for that thing, it will mean you're successful. If you strive for that thing and you achieve it, then that will mean XYZ about you.
Yeah, it was.
And who to?
It's not.
Somebody
It's
else's
not
opinion.
about. It's not about the things, is it? It's
No, it's the
you.
image.
It's the feeling
Yeah,
you attach. Like I say, I wanted those good times, whatever the highs, whatever. I wanted them to be enough. So if I created more highs, if I earned more money, if I paid more, if I went out for more days out, if I, created this amazing family life at home, it would be enough.
yeah,
And I thought the more I do, the more I give, the more I chase, the more I be like that version on that pedestal, um, it will be enough.
yeah.
And I will feel better. I will feel accomplished. I will feel more worthy.
Good enough.
It's a massive false economy. It
Yeah,
is a real, real, real false
yeah.
economy.
Yeah. And like, you might be comparing yourself to somebody who, especially when we look at people in their own business, like you were saying earlier about, oh, yeah, if it's 10 grand months, then obviously you're successful and I'm doing really crap in comparison. But how many hours they work in a day? Because so many people like to talk about, and I know this is your opinion of alignment, but people talk about alignment and they have to do fuck all for it. And they're earning
Yeah.
200 grand a year or 500 grand a year or they're a millionaire and it's bullshit. But
Yeah, because they
actually,
don't talk about the fact that they're earning 10 grand a month, but they're spending £9,000 on ads to make that. So
yeah,
they're actually only making a grand.
yeah.
Let's
What's
get
your
it right.
cash? What's your cash in the
Yeah.
bank?
What is your profit? No one talks
Exactly.
about that.
Exactly. But also, though, like we're comparing ourselves to these people and we're thinking about the money, but it's not the money necessarily, it's the freedom. It's a freedom of choice. It's a freedom of time. And that can come in all sorts of ways. It's not necessarily comparing ourselves to that person who is a millionaire and who is potentially unhappy or working themselves into the ground. Or, like you say, you put all these lovely photos of yourself going on these incredible holidays and these restaurants and these fancy cars and houses and etc etc, but actually the pain behind it all or the reality of what's behind it all is a
Yeah, it could
completely
be like
different
80
picture.
grams worth of credit card debts or
Yeah,
a really unhappy home life or
yeah.
work, like you say, working 20
Work like a
hours a
flaming
day,
dog. Yeah,
spending
exactly.
9,000 to make 10,000.
Yeah.
You
Somebody's killing it in corporate and you're comparing yourself to that person. And actually, you might not even like corporate and the corporate
No.
world, or
Yeah.
someone's going viral on TikTok when actually all you want is that real connection with real people, building those rapports and not having to deal with trends. But we're looking at it going, how come they've become viral? How come they're making money? How come they're doing this, that, and the other? I couldn't think of anything worse than sitting on my phone 24/7, having to deliver the next thing to keep people's interest so I can earn money. Have I got caught up in that loop? Yeah, of course I have. Imagine if I just went viral and then I started earning all this money,
Going
thinking
viral
Thinking
is
though that it makes your life easier. You get to sit back, but it's not. It's the complete opposite. It's like, this is going completely extreme. It's like seeing people on OnlyFans, right? You think, you know, I don't know if you ever
God
watch these
knows where this is
programs.
going to go.
But honest to God, right? I watched a program with Olivia
Olivia
Attwood.
Attwood.
Oh, she is literally the queen. I adore her. And she was with this millionaire woman who was on OnlyFans, right? And she's got this incredible house, every car you can think of. She's out for dinner with her husband. She is online 24/7. They go out for dinner and she has to go in the toilets and record herself doing what she's doing in the loos to give them some new, fresh content. And the problem is to keep people on these subscriptions, for them to keep wanting to pay, you've got to keep going bigger. You've got to keep going better. You keep having to keep giving them something different. And it's like, for all that money, would you want to live? Even if you didn't mind doing what she was doing, I am not. I couldn't care less how you make your money. You do, as long as you're not hurting anybody,
Yeah,
you do
absolutely.
what feels good to you. Honestly, I think fair play to her. But if you think I'm going out for dinner with my husband and I've got to go and do some sort of act in the bloody
I would
toilet,
love to
absolutely
see
not.
his face. Oh my
What,
God.
Richard? Sorry, love. I'm just going to nip to the toilet, so I've got to record myself.
Imagine.
But guess what? It's fine because I'm a millionaire and you don't have to
Yeah,
work. So it's
yeah.
all right, isn't it? No
Buy
thanks.
yourself something nice. So I'll be back in
Yeah.
a minute.
Treat yourself to a whiskey and coke while I'm gone. Or a bottle of champagne, whatever you fancy, babe.
Oh
But do you
my
know what I mean? Like,
Christ.
it's like we look at this lifestyle and all these fancy stuff, but you don't look at the commitment that she fully has to put into that to keep that money coming in. It's
Yeah.
not for me.
Nor me.
I want some peace. I want some time away from
Oh,
online. I'm a post
peace.
and ghost. I'm not saying that's the right thing, but I literally am a post and ghost. I try not to be, but I just don't want to live my life online.
No, and having had clients that go viral, it really is not what it cracks up to be. You just get a load of morons from their mum's spare room chatting shit in the comments. And it just absolutely ruins your strategy. It dilutes your audience. It creates notifications that make you want to throw yourself out of the upstairs window. And yeah, just exposes the really weird members of society. I'm all right, thanks.
Yeah, we get to choose who we deal with on a daily basis. But when you are wanting to look at this dream life that other people are having, like you don't realize what that comes with and what that actually means. So again, it looks like they've got the ideal life, they've got all this money, they've got all this freedom, they're going viral, but actually, is it what you really want?
Yeah, that's why it's so important to really take the time to go inwards. And I know that that sounds really wanky, and I know I'm the most anti-wanky sayings in
It's not
person
wanky, it's
on
bloody
it. It
important.
is really important, and I'm gonna take one for the team on this one, because you need to really align with your
Align? Did you
why.
just use the word
I
align?
I know, I don't know what is wrong with me. Maybe,
Spending time with me.
yeah, maybe I've had the best news of my life this week. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you have to be fair. Everything's aligning, Sarah. Whoop, whoop,
The
whoop.
cynical old bitch is gone because she's actually happy.
Yeah, the witch is dead.
Well, if only. Um,
But y-
so need to go inwards, align with your why, and really be certain on what your version of success looks like,
yeah,
and have that filter. It is conscious. You do have to pull yourself up. It does take work to start with. There are things that you can do to protect your energy. Fuck me, I'm bringing them all out tonight. Um, really protect yourself and filter what you're seeing and what you're thinking. You can change your thoughts. You can improve your self-esteem. You can live a life that feels better than it looks, which is what we're all aiming for, or as
100%.
good as it looks. But you have to take control of it. You do have to say, right, I am responsible for this.
Yeah, and
That
it's a
shame,
choice.
that doubt, that whatever's coming up when you're consuming or you're around these people or you're in these environments, whatever it may be, you have to take responsibility and be like, I'm doing this to myself a little bit, but it can
Yeah,
change.
yeah. And, you know, success, as we said, is subjective. So it's personal. So, and it's so deeply personal that you do need to really get to know yourself. Like,
And it changes,
we,
right?
yeah, of course it does. Like, because we change. Like, we're not born to be stuck. We're not supposed to stay the same, no matter how much people hate change and they're frightened of it. We're humans. We're not supposed to stay stuck. We're supposed to develop, move forward, and change. And,
Yeah.
you know,
So
it's
it's
keep,
fine to take yourself out of situations. It's
yeah,
fine to mute or block accounts that you were really interested in before that actually were serving you but aren't anymore. It's fine to step back from that friendship group, leave that WhatsApp group, whatever it may be, wherever you're finding yourself having those negative feelings, audit it. Like, what is
yeah.
coming up? Does this still align, or is it in line with my values? Do I still need to be consuming this? Is it having a positive impact on me? If any of those answers are no, you've got the choice to step away from it.
And let's not look at it as a negative thing. Let's look at this as a really positive thing. If it's coming up for a reason. What does it mean? Let's, like you were saying, you know, really go into it. Let's, what's the word? Dissect it. And this is how we get to understand ourselves better. This is when we get to see how we are changing, how we do feel differently about stuff. And it's not because we haven't got X, Y, and Z. It's because my values have changed. Because what I want out of life has changed. Because my last relationship affected me so badly that I ain't putting up with that shit anymore. And actually, when I look at that situation, I don't want to be in that again. I want to find this, that, and the other instead, you know? And it just reevaluates your whole way of looking at life and what it is that truly makes you happy. And it actually enables you to stop that comparison mode and
Gives
actually figure out who you are and actually like
It's
who
pretty
you are.
empowering. It
It
gives you
is.
choice back.
Yeah. Control.
Hmm.
Because when you're comparing yourself, that's exactly what you're doing is you're giving away your power, you're giving away your control. And we do it so easily because we don't realize it's what we're doing.
And there's so many reasons for it. Like, we could be here for about 6 weeks unpicking it all. We
100%.
won't, but it's not, well, 90% of 95% of our operation is subconscious.
Mhm.
So it's learned, it's developed over time. It's got layers and layers and layers of conditioning. Um, so it's going to take work. It's going to be a little bit difficult. As I say, it has to be conscious to start with. You have to be like, no, I don't want to think like that. I'm not doing that. Like, it is a me problem. It's not the person posting. It's not the person talking about whatever. It's not that situation or environment. It's the lens that you're looking through it, and you have to be prepared to sit with it and say, right, like you say, what is this bringing up for me?
Yeah.
Where is it coming from? Um, and once you know, you can do something different.
Yeah.
Like, we're
And
always
the thing,
doing the best we can with what we know at the time. Once
yeah.
you start to have these questions, it opens up a different level, and then you know differently. So you can sit with it, you can explore it, you can take, oh my God, here comes another one. You can take your power back
Yeah. Love it.
and make a different choice. And then the more
Yeah.
you make that choice, there's more evidence that starts to reprogram that subconscious.
And also, look at it this way: we all see life the way we see it from our own lens, like you were saying. So you could have three children being brought up in the same household. We've all got
Yeah.
exactly the same upbringing. Yet you'll ask one what their life was like, and they'll give you a version. You'll ask another one, and it will be completely different. And you'll go to the third one and that will be completely different. And it's all about how you see life from your lens. The same thing is happening for all of us, but we make a decision whether it's a good thing or a bad thing or a heartbreaking thing or a devastating thing or an ecstatic thing, because it's all through our own lens and our own experiences. And I mean, I would say conditioning, but we were all brought up exactly the same way. But
Well, the
it
thing is,
affected us differently and
the
means completely
yeah,
different things to each and every one of us.
the roads of this are laid down before we're 7. So sitting here in our 40s, we haven't really got a great deal of control over it. As children, you're like egocentric. You don't have the capacity to think, oh, that adult caregiver, whoever it may be, is having a bit of a tough time at the moment,
Yeah.
or um, they're meeting me at where they're at right now. You think there's something wrong with you. So this stuff starts in there. I'm not good enough. It's my fault. I need to be quiet. Blah, 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 blah. It all comes back to the same place, but then it manifests in life in different ways. And one of the biggest ways that the traps that we fall into is this: I should be more like them, better,
Yeah.
whatever that comparison
Yeah.
is.
But those images aren't one size fits all. That's what I'm trying to say by it, like the big house, the big title, the big money, the big following, But true success is genuinely a feeling. It's what you feel in here that matters. It is that alignment where something feels good. Doesn't mean to say it's not sticky, doesn't mean to say it's not hard, but it feels good. It comes from a place of peace. To feel that I could feel peace every single day would mean absolutely everything to me. It's that expansion. It's that good feeling of happiness and feeling free, freedom of mind, freedom of heart, freedom of life, you know, not necessarily about how much money is sitting in your bank account or what car
No.
is sitting on the drive. Because I have known people when I was a kid, I remember my dad, one of his friends was a millionaire and we went around to see him. I mean, I got stuck in the back of his Porsche. He had the big house, the fancy cars, but do you know what? Didn't have a partner. He had no one to share it with. And I remember him saying to me, I must have been about 9 years old, and he said to me, I would give up every single penny that I have if I could meet the love of my life. And he must have been in his 40s. I mean, when I think about that now, that breaks my heart because money isn't everything. Yet, so often we spend our whole life striving to get to that number because until we do, we're not successful
Mm.
or we're not seen as successful.
No, but it doesn't mean you can't be ambitious.
Oh, of course.
Like,
I mean,
I've
we are.
had all that, gone through what I've gone through, where I am now. I'm still wildly ambitious. I lost it for a while. It doesn't motivate me in the same way that it did before, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to have it.
No, but I think that when you have it again, you will see it through a different lens, a lens of
Oh, it'll feel
experience.
completely different.
Completely different because
Completely
it won't
different.
be ego driven.
It will
It will
never
come
be
from
at the
freedom.
expense of
No,
anything ever again.
because now it's like you want that money because that does bring that freedom of mind, that freedom of heart, being able to just go and book a holiday for you and the kids, or not having to watch pennies or I hate the word pennies, but do you know what I mean? Like, and we're
100%.
exactly the same.
For
I
me, it
can't
means
wait.
for me, it means choice.
Yeah.
I will
If you want to go
I
for dinner or get a takeaway or go to the supermarket and buy food, you've got that choice. Instead, I'm not saying this is you, by the way, but often, it's right, we need to go to the supermarket and buy the food because we can't just keep going out for dinners every weekend and doing this and doing that, especially when you're trying to build a business. But even when you're not, it's a Christmas and we're supposed to be full of joy and be able to go out every weekend and party and have all these new clothes and be in sequins and,
Yeah, I think
drink
that's a really,
champagne
really
and
good
it's
point. Like,
it's
we're coming
bollocks.
up to a point where Everybody is gonna be showing off their version of success
Yep.
and
Out in
presents
London.
galore,
Yep.
the winter wonderland, all of the
Yep.
shoulds, what Christmas
Yep.
should look like these days. And it doesn't have to, and it doesn't for everyone.
Do you know
Um,
what? I'm going to say something a little bit controversial here, and I don't
Not like
mean
you.
this to sound judgy. And if you do this, this is completely up to you. But I never understand, and I don't know if you've ever done it, but this is just my point of view. I never understand why people decide to take photos of all their kids' presents on Christmas Eve and then post it all over social media. What are you trying to prove in that moment? It's never made me feel like shit. Oh, and I will openly say that. It has never made me feel like shit. I feel very lucky that we've been in situations where we've always been able to do all right by the boys. Don't get me wrong. Like we've never, since the boys have been born, we don't have Christmas presents ourselves. We go without. So, that's a choice. So because we want to give them as much as we can, but I don't feel the need to plaster it all over Facebook to prove anything to anybody. And I suppose in some sense, maybe I'm consciously aware that I don't want to make people feel like shit because what my Christmas looks like is going to always look different to your Christmas and next door's Christmas and my sister's Christmas. It
I
doesn't
think
matter what's going on for me. I just want to be present, just not splashing the presents for everybody to see.
I think there's an unwritten standard now of what Christmas should look like. And
Mm,
for some people, if they've achieved that for that one day, it feels like they're winning.
yeah. But
Obviously,
why? But
for
why? This
some, there is a look at me, look how amazing I'm doing, look at the flash, or it's like that whole keeping up with the Joneses,
Yeah, that's it. Why are
in our
you having to
parents' generation, it was a conservatory or a new car.
yeah, the new TV.
Yeah.
But I think what my point is why do you feel the need to prove to anybody else? I think that's the thing that gets me because I've never felt that way. Whatever the kids do or don't have, I've never felt this need to prove anything. And I feel very lucky and I'm not judging. I promise you, I'm not judging.
I don't think it would be an honest reply, but I think 9 out of 10 people that do that and go in for that whole showy
Mm.
thing would say they're proving anything to anyone. However, I would strongly argue against.
100%. Sorry, guys. And actually, if you are one of those people, as I say, I'm not digging you out. Just sit quietly and really reflect on that and ask yourself honestly, why do I feel the need to do that? And even if in that first instance it's like, well, I don't feel I need to do it. I just like to do it. Okay, that's cool. Why do you like to do it? And
I
just keep questioning yourself. I'm not saying it's going to be a negative.
I think initially for like I'm going into my like marketing psychology here and thinking about like why we post, what we share and all of that. I think some people initially are posting it because they feel proud,
Yeah.
but
But why? Why do you feel the need to show people
you
that?
don't
That's my
like you
point.
can be proud of your achievements and not
Yeah,
seek external validation.
yeah, that's my point.
So really ask yourself again, sit with it a little bit deeper.
Yeah, yeah,
And like we say, like this is not, it's just one of them things that kind of is a bit fascinating and you can dig into human behavior and social media. And I could talk about this stuff all day about why we post what we post and what we share and why we don't like stuff anymore like we used to and why we don't share as much and why you don't get as much engagement as a business. I would talk about this till the cows come home. But there's no right or wrong. We're just
no,
genuinely interested in the way your mind works.
exactly. And this is how we change. This is how we expand, how we become different. Do you know what I mean? This is how we become. What's the word I'm thinking of? how we move forward in life. Like, this is how we progress, how we develop, because who the fuck am I? And I will always, always, always come back to this in my work. Who am I? Everything we do is a decision, is a choice. But where does the decision and the choice come from? I mean, this is going into a whole different
I
fucking
come back to that at the traffic
episode.
lights in my car, let alone in my work.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it's fascinating. I love digging deep with my clients with this. And this is why I really, really encourage you to do this. If you feel the need to do that, ask yourself why. And in the same sense, if you don't want to do it because it triggers you, ask yourself why. Because this is how we unpeel the layers and we figure out, who the fuck am I? Where does it come from? How do I get to change that? Because I don't want to feel like that anymore. And this is when we start to live in our truth and we start to live in our alignment and in our true happiness.
Yeah. And it's absolutely fine if you're like, fuck off, you two. You
And
don't
you
have
might
to
well
get
do,
as
to
excited
begin
about
with.
this stuff. You don't have to get as excited about this stuff as we do. It will be uncomfortable to start with. It we obviously we're a little bit weird. We play a little game with ourselves and are like, oh,
Nothing
so
wrong with weird.
what is this triggering in me today? Like, what's
Yeah.
today's task? But
But this is how we move through things and
yeah,
move forward, where things don't trigger us anymore because we recognize it, we're conscious, we figure it out, we move on and we change.
but we don't always get
So,
it right. Like, we're
no,
not
of course
on
not.
our high horses up here being like, oh, we're so
No
perfect.
pedestals, ladies, no
There are no
pedestals, they do not
pedestals. We
exist.
should ourselves a lot. We fall into that comparison trap. We have that whole breakdown in the voice note in each other of, why is this taking so long? When is it going to work? When am I going to be changed? We go through all of that exactly the same
Yeah,
into turning that comparison into clarity and the practical steps that you can follow when you feel the should spiral coming on.
of course. And let's name it, like we've just been saying. It's about being aware. I'm comparing myself. Why am I doing that again? It's okay. We're not shaming ourselves. We're not telling ourselves that it's negative, it's wrong, or anything else. We're just saying, shit, I've done it again. It's okay. But
And
why?
then, yeah. So then what is it exactly about that is triggering you? If it's in content or online or a person and it is like that direct, I should be more like her. Is it her confidence? Is it her freedom? Is it her visibility? Is it her success? Is it her choice? What is it about that you are wanting?
Yeah. Separate the person from the feeling. Let's detach. You don't actually want her life. You don't actually want to be her. You want the emotional experience that you imagine she has. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting more for yourself and wanting to feel this certain way that you imagine that she is feeling. That's okay. But you don't actually want her life.
So your trigger is, say it is freedom. Ask yourself, what is your version of that for yourself? Like, what
Mm.
does freedom look like for you? If you're looking at them thinking, oh, it's all right for them, it's easy for them, they've got this freedom, what does your version of that look like?
Yeah.
I guarantee it won't be anything like the version that you are comparing yourself to.
Yeah, 100%. What's your version of confidence? What's your version of freedom? What is your version of your dream life? Is it the great big house, mansion, Porsche on the drive, £1,000,000 in the bank? Or is it actually that you can be at home with your kids and be able to do the school run rather than working in a job that you absolutely can't stand?
I,
When my boys were really little, I had to work full time. Oscar went to nursery and I only got to pick him up once. And I will never, ever, ever forget this experience for the rest of my life. Literally, it was the best day of my whole entire life. I cried. Seeing his little face running out at like 3 years old, seeing his mummy stood there waiting for him. Oh my God, even now, and I can see him looking up at me as he's holding my hand. I'm like, oh. So for me, I really wanted to be around more. I missed a lot of Joe's school plays, um, like the harvest festivals and all that kind of stuff. But then you have the other side of that when they're a little bit older and I have been able to make that happen for myself, I mean, Jesus Christ. Mums and playgrounds, that's a whole other ball game. That is worse than being in the playground as a child. So, you want what your current reality is you don't want, and you want this over there, and you're looking at everybody else going, I want that. And then you make that happen for yourself, and actually you realise, oh, it's not really all rainbows and fluffy clouds as it looks and how you imagine it to feel. But that's okay. It's whatever your version of that desire, that freedom, that success that you want. So then we need to take that aligned action. What is the
Brilliant.
aligned action that you need to take towards your desire? Your desire, not hers.
Yeah. And this is where I work a lot with my clients. Like, where are you now? What is your dream? What is the gap in the middle? That's the bit you can control.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you are.
And
Doesn't
we
matter where
do
you want to
have the
go.
control.
It's
I,
daily actions.
yeah.
One small move, one choice, one say no when you want to say yes, so that you can do whatever's going to take you to where you
Yeah.
want to be.
Yeah. 100%. And that step that makes you feel like you. What is important to you? Not everybody else, not what you think your friends might want or your mother-in-law thinks you should be doing. No. What is it that makes you feel like you? What is it that you want? Let's take that step towards that.
Yeah, and we sort of alluded to this a little bit earlier, but if you are spending time on social media and it is triggering a negative response, you are 100% in control of what you consume.
Yes.
You can completely filter that. So if it doesn't align with where you are, or isn't of interest to you anymore, or it is making you feel shit, or you've moved on and it doesn't interest you anymore, it's perfectly okay to withdraw, to completely block them or mute
Mute.
them. Mute them's a nice, friendlier
How many
way. If
times have
it,
you muted people, Sarah?
I do this as a monthly practice. I'm not going to lie. It's in my diary at the beginning of each month.
Yeah.
I go through all of my accounts. It takes a little bit of time. And I audit
Yeah.
I'm consuming.
It's such a good thing to do. Honestly, I highly recommend it because what we consume creates our reality. And that is the truth of it. So if we're consuming negativity, if we're consuming stuff that makes us feel like shit, guess what our reality is going to be? We're going to feel down. We're going to feel shit. We're going to be hard on ourselves. We're never going to see the greatness that's already in front of us and what our lives already look like. And
I
I'm not
started
talking about the toxic fucking gratefulness and positivity, and that's a whole other episode. But we so easily get blinded to the goodness that's right in front of our eyes because we're consumed by the shit that other people are posting.
I started this as practice in relation to my business originally because I was just starting out. I would follow anything, any little crumb of how to do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. So I was all over it. And then the solution became the problem
Yeah.
because I was over consuming. The advice out there was completely conflicting. I
Yeah.
didn't know my ass from my elbow. And all it left me feeling was I'm shit. So I
Confused.
couldn't make any way forward. And then beating myself up over it. What the
And
fuck?
the mental thing about that is 18 months into your business, you were absolutely smashing the shit out of life, business, money coming into your account. Absolutely smashing it. but it didn't necessarily feel that way to you because you're still consuming stuff like we all do online, feeling like we're still not doing enough.
Yeah, and I
But
was
when,
not filtering through 6 months, 12 months, 18
yeah,
months,
look
where I
how
was.
amazing I've done. Yeah,
I was still I wasn't filtering it through where I was and what my success was and what my next
yeah,
steps were.
yeah,
I was at home with my kids, sharing a bed with Ava in my mum and dad's spare room, rebuilding my life. My next steps were never going to be Dubai at 10 grand. Wasn't important. Why am I
no,
comparing myself to that? My next step is make X amount of money to be able to get myself out of here, get in a house,
yeah.
pay for this school trip, summer holidays, get all the uniform, get myself.
Ladies, as a single parent, keeping a roof and walls all intact over our kids' head, healthy kids who are being fed every single day, who don't ask for anything because they don't need to, because no, well, okay, they do ask, but quite often they don't hear no often, do they? And I mean that in a good way, not in a. This is how successful this bloody woman is. That's how incredible she is. In 18 months, she's got a roof, a beautiful house over her kid's head, and she's paying for that all by herself through her business. She's not even in a bloody job. Smashing it.
So it happens to us all because when I gave my head a wobble and was like, right, you've just, like everyone, you've fallen into the trap. You've not been practicing what you've preached. The solution has become the problem. Rein this in, mute, block, pull back, stop trying to chase something else and align with wisdom. Oh, I keep using that word tonight. Really, but it was never without action. I didn't
Yeah,
go, oh, Dad, buy me a house. I had to work fucking hard to get it. Um, and that's the difference. That's the action. Instagram
yeah.
was telling me I could just sit on my sun lounger and it would all fall in my lap, but it's not true. But no, all joking aside, once
Because they will
I
lie.
pulled back and was like, right, this month I need to achieve this. My long-term dream is to have a roof over our head.
Yeah,
And then now I've achieved that. We've been here. Things have changed. I've grown. I've changed what I want. What's driving me, the freedom that I've got now is completely different. So
yeah,
we go again. We filter
yeah,
again. We block again. We align
yes,
again. We write new values. We write new rules. Actually, my values and integrity haven't really changed that much,
yeah,
but the goals very much have. And I know that with that, it's going to come up a whole nother level of comparison. It's going to come up a whole level of fear, doubt. And I'm going to have to go through this process again. And I'm going to have to reset and expand to be able to hold the next thing. It's never one and done.
no,
But the sooner you accept that this is the game,
yeah,
it's not one and done. And it's you versus you, get that filter that's my why, etc., etc.,
yeah,
it becomes a hell of a lot easier.
100%. 100%. And what I will say as well is not only do I filter who I'm following, I filter who follows me. Because I've had some abuse on Instagram, I can tell you that much. Block, delete. I don't give a shit. This is not a numbers game. It's not, the more followers I've got, the better or more successful I look. No, if you don't align with my brand and my business, I'm removing you. I don't need that kind of negativity in those people who aren't actually necessarily interested in what it is that I actually do. Do you know what? I was on TikTok and I just kept getting abused by men. What
Right.
about men? What about men? What about men? I'm not abusing men. I'm just saying I like to work with women. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not going to change my mind, no matter how much you keep having a go at me. There are lots of coaches out there that work with men.
Yeah.
Go and find
Funnily
one.
enough, your behaviour is the reason I don't want to fucking work with them.
I just think they need a lot of help. And actually, I could probably make quite a lot of money from them. But I just choose not to because my passion's with women. I like men. If men wanted to work with me, I would consider it, but I do not promote it. So we have a choice.
But
Remove.
equally, as well, in your personal accounts, Not everyone is hustling it on the gram for money. Um, your friendship groups change, things move on. You know, not everybody deserves access to you. You don't need to see it if it makes you feel shit, and they certainly do not want to need to know what's happening.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and do it.
yeah.
The only ones that will realise are the ones that are snooping and shouldn't be looking and are up to something. No one else gives a fuck.
No. And that is the point. No one actually gives a shit what you're doing. So just do what it is that you want to do.
Everyone's worried about themselves.
Exactly.
Like,
Everyone's
like
looking
they're
through their own lens. No one's actually judging you. It's how you're making them feel. And that's not your problem. It's not your fault. They are seeing it through their
yeah,
own lens and
they're
they're making the
crippled by their own
situation
self-doubt
be
and insecurities.
exactly. Yeah, of course. As we all do, you know? So we need to start focusing on ourselves. Let go of the should, do what lights us up. So, ladies, as you've all heard before, comparison is a thief because not only does it steal your joy, it steals your identity.
Abso-bloody-lutely. Every moment you're trying to be more like them, more like her, blah, 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 is a moment you are not being you.
Yeah,
You're moving further away from who you are meant to become.
yeah. Now, jealousy, I hate the word jealousy, I can't lie. I find it so envy is a much nicer word because it doesn't sound so vicious, I think. But anyway, whether it's jealousy, whether it's envy, remember it's not your enemy. It's a guide. It's a mirror. It's a nudge toward your next level. We just need to figure out what is it that it's trying to tell me.
Yeah, because success looks different for everybody.
Yes.
It is completely subjective to you, where you are, what you want. What you want today is different to what you want tomorrow. Like, it
And that's
can
okay.
change. It's absolutely, it doesn't have a timeline, it doesn't have a shape. It is completely and utterly yours.
Yeah. Your success gets to look like you, not her, not Sarah, not me, not the internet, you.
You. Thanks everyone for joining us. We hope you have enjoyed it. It's been a little bit lively this episode.
I've loved it though.
We've got a little bit of a strong opinion on this stuff, but as always, let us know. Drop us an email, head over to Instagram and have a chat with us in the DMs. It's at noshouldsgivenpod. We want to hear from you. So we are pretty planned on the shoulds that we want to talk about for a little while now, but we really, really, really want to dive into some of your shoulds as well. So let us know what you would like to talk about.
Yes, please.
See you
See
next
you
time.